Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And our fall-like feel continues. I'll show you how long we may have these cooler than normal temperatures around.
Durham development. Hundreds of units are now available for local residents. Why the mayor says today was the first of many celebrations to come.
And a 7-hour standoff came to a peaceful end. What we know about the man who fired shots at deputies.
Temperatures remain below normal today, and we will take them. No complaints here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levinger. Yeah, woke up really nice this morning, and the afternoon's feeling great as well. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is on the WRAL weather patio to explain why the cold pattern may last for a bit.
You're going to see this pattern just stalled here over us for at least a week and maybe even beyond that. We take a live look at the gardens behind us and you can see blue sky here. Maybe you can't see the sky, but there's blue sky here right now and very comfortable. Temperature 71 is our current temperature. Our dew point's down in the mid 50s, so it feels very nice. That dew point nice and low. It means we have a very dry, low humidity type atmosphere right now. 68 in Roxborough and in Southern Pines, 71 in Durham, 72 Clinton, 70 in Goldsboro. Around town, temperatures will be well below normal. Our normal high is 85. We're looking at 75 in Durham, is 76 in Raleigh, 79 degrees in Fayetteville. Here's the reason that we're seeing these cool temperatures. It's all about that northeasterly wind. We have a front that's stalled just off the coast, and behind that we have a high pressure system. That high pressure system rotating clockwise is dragging in some cool air and pushing it right across North Carolina. And you can see the blue shaded area. That's where temperatures are below normal. Now we will see this low moving up the coast. That's going to rotate a little bit of cloud cover in across the area from time to time, but it's not likely to bring us any rain in the next several days. We take a look again at that temperature change. The blue shaded areas are where temperatures are below normal. We see that all the way into the weekend. Again, 85 is our normal high. We're in the 70s for the next couple of days. We keep it below normal into the weekend. We'll talk more about why we're not seeing a whole lot of rain coming up.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're following some breaking news in the downtown Raleigh area. Take a look at your screen right now. This is a gas leak shutting down the intersection at Northeast Street and Jones Street. As you can see, crews are working to repair that gas leak at this intersection. This is about 4 blocks from the legislative building in a residential area. Now, we're not hearing anything about any evacuations in the area, but drivers are encouraged to avoid this intersection of Jones and Northeast Street. This is what it looks like on our live traffic map this morning. This is where the gas leak is and where the intersection is shut down. You've got a few alternate routes: Edenton Street, Newbern, Lane Street, alternate east-west routes. Blunt and Bloodworth are a couple of north-south routes that might be an alternative to that gas leak on Jones and East Street. So you want to avoid that area. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know if workers are able to repair that gas leak and get that intersection reopened.
Ken, thanks. A person is in custody after a 7-hour standoff in Franklin County. Authorities deployed flashbangs and pepper balls at a home on Twin Creek Drive. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live at the scene with what he's learned. Flynn.
Renee, the house where this happened is just about 2 driveways down at Twin Creek Drive from where we are. We drove by a little earlier and saw the glass in the front door completely shattered. Relatives of the suspect now cleaning up after the chaotic situation from overnight. This neighborhood was blocked off for hours. And take a listen. Cameras captured the moments that authorities deployed those flashbangs just before bringing that suspect out of the home. So this all started around 5:30 yesterday evening when someone heard gunshots from inside the home. We're working to confirm the suspect's name. Relatives, though, tell us he's about 70 years old and began shooting at the walls after drinking. He has now been taken to the hospital. That situation prompted a massive police response. Franklin County Sheriff says at one point the suspect fired shots at deputies. The standoff ended around midnight with no injuries, and the suspect's relatives, who weren't comfortable with going on camera, tell us that authorities deployed those flashbangs, as you heard, gas and pepper balls, to bring the suspect out of the house and this standoff to an end. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Franklin County.
A Cary High School student is accused of bringing an airsoft gun to school. Police arrested 18-year-old Isaiah Holly, and police say that Holly brought that airsoft gun to school to show his friends. Well, that's when another student reported it to teachers. Holly was pulled from class, and a school resource officer took the gun. Now, because there was no threat to the school, there was no lockdown. Holly was released on a $5,000 bond. Charlotte's mayor asked the public to not keep posting surveillance footage of a deadly stabbing gaining national attention. Mayor Vi Lyles calls that attack a senseless and tragic loss. Irina Zarutska escaped the war in Ukraine with her family, and the video shows DeCarlos Brown attack her with a pocket knife while riding the city's light rail. Records show Brown has a long record of criminal charges and psychiatric crises. A judge released him without bail in January after he called 911 from a hospital, and he reportedly claimed people were trying to control him. Congressman Tim Moore says Zarutska's blood is on the hands of everyone who enabled Brown to walk free.
I'm proud to co-lead co-chairwoman Stefanik's Keeping Violent Offenders Off Our Streets Act, which will make it harder for violent criminals to slip through the cracks and walk free without proper review.
Congressman Moore says the Keep Violent Criminals Off Our Street Act would end cashless bail, and it would also could withhold federal funds from local governments refusing to follow the law.
A new beginning. The Durham Housing Authority is unveiling the new Vanguard apartments in the heart of downtown Durham. That project is part of a much larger redevelopment effort of DHA properties downtown. WRAL's Monica Casey is live at that site. Monica, this has been in the works for years.
It has, and this site in particular is being developed in 4 phases. Take a look behind me. This is phase 1, the Vanguard apartments. These completed construction earlier this summer. There are 72 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments just in these buildings. In total, including the other phases, there will be 538 new mixed income homes in this downtown area. 348 of those will be affordable and 190 will be market rate. Durham Mayor Leonardo Williams told the crowd today this celebration is the first of many to come.
Folks always talk about affordable housing. We talk about it through a lens as if it's not happening. We are working. We're doing work together, and we're producing. There's over 3,000 units in the pipeline right now, and we're making more come on board today.
This development will also include a community center, fitness centers, playgrounds, a central park, and new commercial space along Main Street. Phases 2 and 3 are already under construction. These Commerce Street apartments are expected to be complete next year. They include a senior building and a family building. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
The Tarboro Town Council blocked the construction of a data center overnight. Council members voted 7-1 to reject a special use permit for a 300-megawatt facility. Developers wanted to build it on a 50-acre piece of land near Anaconda Road. Last night's town council meeting was tense, lasting more than 5 hours and ending after midnight.
New analysis of employment data shows some of the industries most exposed to tariffs are losing jobs. The U.S. manufacturing industry has 78,000 fewer jobs than it did a year ago, and manufacturing employment has declined 4 months in a row. The job loss in tariff-exposed industries has also contributed to a broader slowdown in hiring.
Worker confidence in their ability to move from one job to another has reached an all-time low. That's according to a new survey from the New York Federal Reserve. Even those who are already employed are feeling less than great about the job market. Workers believe they have about a 45% chance of being able to find a new position after losing their current one. That's down about 6 points from the prior month and the lowest mark in the survey's history. We are just hours away from Apple's announcement of a new range of iPhone 17s. A new slimmer option called the iPhone 17 Air is expected to lead the lineup. Experts say the announcement will shy away from Apple's AI play called Apple Intelligence. It could be at least a year away from that. Although Apple still dominates the U.S. smartphone market, new numbers show Korean competitor Samsung is gaining share. Samsung accounts for 31% of all smartphone shipments, and that's up from 23%.
Next at noon, 24 years after 9/11, a revisit to a day with bright blue skies as tragedy unfolded in New York City. We bring you a look at a museum helping visitors reflect.
Home equity erosion. Your house's value may have taken a dip, and inflation could be to blame. We'll explain how the two are connected.
Plus, new Epstein documents. Lawmakers released new information from the Jeffrey Epstein files. What the Trump administration is saying to deny the president's connection to them.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000. Sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
Welcome back. Plenty of sunshine and blue skies out there. Our temperatures are below normal for this time of year. We're sitting at 71 degrees in Cary as we look live at Benton. You're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. As we approach 24 years since the attacks of 9/11, New Yorkers who were there that day will remember. It was a clear, bright blue sky that morning, a hint of fall in the air, in sharp contrast to the events that would soon unfold and change our world forever. Andrew Siff visited the 9/11 Memorial and Museum to reflect on that morning with an art installation that will impact anyone who experienced the beauty before the terror.
Nearly 3,000 tiles, each one a different shade of blue.
One of those colors is exactly the way that everybody remembers it.
Beth Hillman is president and CEO of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. We're inside the main hall, an exhibit that even today, nearly 24 years after New York's darkest day, tears flow at an exhibit called Remember the Sky. The simple concept, artist Spencer Finch's installation conjuring that powerful blue sky as first responders saved thousands. The project also an echo of those who lost their lives, with a modern way to pay tribute this week.
Take a picture of the sky that day and post it to #RememberTheSky. And the reason that makes sense is because that September 11th in 2001 was a spectacular, beautiful day. The color of the sky is something many people remember that day. And when Spencer Finch decided to make this piece, he created this art with a different color of blue for every person who was killed by terrorists that day.
One of the lives lost, Fire Captain Terry Hatton. That's who retired firefighter Tim Brown is thinking about this anniversary. Brown was on command assignment in the lobby of several World Trade Center buildings, but still thinks about what more he could have done.
You went from 7
to 1 to 2.
Did you go up?
If I had heard my best friend, Captain Terry Hatton, yelling Mayday in the radio, I would have gone up. He was my best friend.
Right.
But it was my job to stay in the lobby, and I did not hear him screaming for help.
The Remember the Sky exhibit also contains a famous quote from the poet Virgil.
No day shall erase you from the memory of time.
Each letter on that blue wall forged from the original steel at the World Trade Center.
And we have a list of events across our viewing area dedicated to remembering that fateful day. You can find that on the WRAL.com homepage or search September 11th events on WRAL.com.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we have a sad update to that story we've been reporting all morning long for the last 24 hours about that 7-year-old North Carolina boy, Liam King. Well, we just learned from the Randolph County Sheriff's Office that his body was found this morning near Asheboro, where he was last reported missing. These are new pictures that they released in the last 24 hours of the 7-year-old. He was nonverbal, but he could hear very clearly, but they've been searching for him for at least the last 2 or 3 days now. And the Randolph County Sheriff's Office just confirmed that his body was found in a pond. Here's a picture as we come back here to the WRAL Live Center of first responders this morning as they gathered, likely after Liam's body was found. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office, they are planning a 2 o'clock press conference this afternoon. Of course, stay with WRAL, and we'll update you on this story throughout the day, online and on air.
Goodness, that's not the outcome people wanted to hear. All right, thank you for bringing that to us, Ken. Progress for business owners in Boone nearly a year after Hurricane Helene. Many businesses on King Street were flooded when the storm hit. The fall is usually a busy time of year for that area. People flock to see the leaves change or visit their students at Appalachian State. Well, many of the businesses lost revenue the entire month last year because of the storm. And now business owners say the recovery means King Street's business corridor is stronger.
We just were overwhelmed with support from the community. I think we have an awesome community here.
But that is the heart of the high country, is local businesses. So I'm hoping that people can just continue to fluctuate that money into those smaller businesses so that we can keep pushing forward.
And we are bringing you stories of heartbreak and hope in the mountains 1 year after Helene. It's part of our new WRAL documentary, Helene, What We Lost, What We Found. That airs Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 on TV or wherever you stream WRAL.
And what we're seeing all across the viewing area, some puffy clouds, blue skies, and lots of sunshine and cool temperatures. Cool for this time of year anyway.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. Elizabeth, looks like you're not complaining as well. Looks like it's a little warmer out there than you were this morning.
Definitely. It feels fantastic out here. Right around 70 degrees, low dew point, sunshine, a little bit breezy. Right now, it feels pretty calm on the patio, but we're seeing some gusty conditions across the viewing area. And here's a live look at our gardens right now. Just looking beautiful, 71 degrees. That dew point 54. We'll be in the mid 70s for the highs this afternoon. Okay, we're looking at the wind gusts on the right. The wind, as we talked about a little while ago, is coming out of the northeast, and so it definitely has a cool flavor to it. 18 is what we're gusting in Durham and Raleigh. We're gusting to 23 in Fayetteville and 17 in Southern Pines, and winds are steady at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And there goes my favorite butterfly, just flew right on by us. It is likely to remain gusty up until around sunset or so, and then we'll see the winds beginning to die down, but gusting, up to 20 miles per hour, maybe a little above that at times with this air mass moving into our region. Our temperature 70 in South Hill, 71 in Southern Pines, 72 in Clinton right now. As we take a look at the triangle, 70 in Apex, 69 in Garner and in Wake Forest. So it feels real comfortable out there currently. Again, we'll see highs in the mid 70s in the triangle and up to almost 80 degrees in Fayetteville. Taking a look at our temperature change, as we said earlier, we're just looking at much cooler than normal temperatures right now. We begin to see the temperatures creeping up into the low 80s. We'll keep it just below our average as we get into the weekend. Still feeling great. Our normal is 85, and we're at 80 on Thursday, 83 Friday, and 81 on Saturday. But today and tomorrow, highs remain in the 70s. So what does this feel like? It feels kind of like September in Minneapolis. The average high there is 76 degrees, and the low is 57, and that's what we've seen for the last 3 days. So this is what it should feel like in Minneapolis. But like we said, we'll take it for sure. This is a look at what the dew points are across the country, and look at how many towns are seeing the dew points in the 50s and 60s. So that puts us comfy to tolerable. You have to get all the way down to the Gulf Coast or Florida before you feel any tropical air mass. And boy, this time of year, we can still feel tropical air masses. Tend to get to, say, the middle or latter part of September. At that point, we see much fewer really hot days. We did see one Saturday, but we're just settling into very comfortable conditions that should last well into the weekend. Some nice chilly mornings to go along with it. Our normal low is 65, and we're looking at lows in the 50s all the way through Sunday. The Bulls play the first game of their last homestand this evening. Temperatures look great, 73 at 6 o'clock, 71 at 7 o'clock. So it should be a really nice evening for baseball, and that homestand that lasts into the weekend has beautiful weather all along. Now, we do have a front that's stalled offshore. We're going to talk more about when it could send us some clouds and maybe a sprinkle in just a little bit.
We'll be watching for it. Thanks, Elizabeth. Event security. Wake County school leaders are looking at ways to enhance safety. What they're changing in the wake of recent fights, coming up at 4.
And then at 5:30, wells at risk. How PFAS-tainted sludge is making private well water a bit dangerous. Endless scams just when you thought you'd seen it all. Oof. We're going to share a new list of scams sent via text message.
Fake promises. Scammers are also giving students false hope for financial aid for college. Some red flags that will help you avoid fraud.
Oof, there's a growing wave of text message scams targeting your phone. In the last year, 5 on Your Side has warned you about fake toll bills and job scams, but the list just keeps on growing. 5 on Your Side's Ashley Rowe is here to explain how you can stay a step ahead and spot what's legitimate and what's not.
These are some of the latest wrong number texts our team has received. One saying, "Are you able to work now?" They're all innocent enough, but all designed to start a conversation and build a relationship that takes advantage of you. Wrong number scammers are trying to confirm your number is active and the owner is willing to engage and respond. The best response to these messages is ignore them and mark them as spam. Same goes for scam texts claiming that you have a package that's delayed or an outstanding toll bill. Those texts are designed to sound urgent, pressuring you to act fast, but they may contain dangerous links.
There's usually a link where you're asked to supply personal information, such as your address or credit card details. Tapping or clicking the link can even install malware on your device.
If you get a lot of packages, download the USPS, FedEx, and UPS apps. You can track your packages there so that if you get one of these fishy texts, you can find out quickly if they're a real problem. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
And I tell you what, coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll help students and families avoid fake financial services that claim to offer money to help pay for college.
An impending government shutdown fight could impact Affordable Care Act subsidies. The enhanced tax breaks under what's commonly known as Obamacare are set to expire at year's end. Lawmakers face a shutdown deadline on October 1st unless they can strike a funding deal. Democrats could use those negotiations to leverage an extension of the Obamacare tax subsidies for millions of Americans. Open enrollment in the ACA's health insurance marketplace begins on November 1st. Inflation may be chipping away at the value of your home. Analysts say inflation has eaten away at home value gains. You may have heard of something called the home equity erosion. That happens when home values don't rise fast enough to keep up with inflation. So the purchasing power of a home owner's equity is reduced, and that may hurt your ability to borrow against your equity.
Amazon Music can now generate an AI playlist to match your vibe. Every Monday, the app will create a themed playlist that's based on what you've been listening to throughout the week. It will also suggest new and similar music. You can find your weekly vibe playlist in the library by selecting Made for You. You can also share your playlist with your friends and then post them on social media, even save them to the library to listen later.
New legal threats. The documents from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein that the Trump administration says are fake.
AI Tutor. The technology isn't doing the work for students. Instead, it's lifting the burden off teachers. We'll talk about that and more. Here are your winning education lottery numbers, though, and we'll be right back in just a bit.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
The Trump administration is denying the authenticity of a letter released by a House committee as part of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Lawmakers released a number of documents, including a book of letters and well wishes to Epstein for his 50th birthday. The book includes a lewd drawing and a message allegedly sent by President Trump, which he said did not exist. Garrett Haig reports.
This decades-old letter revealed publicly for the first time, reigniting the controversy surrounding President Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The letter shows a drawing of the silhouette of a woman's bare torso, with typewritten text of an imagined conversation between Trump and Epstein. "We have certain things in common," it reads in part, later adding, "Enigmas never age," and closing with, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Beneath that, a scrawled signature, Donald. White House officials on social media denied the letter or the signature were authored by the president. Vice President J.D. Vance labeling its release, quote, "another fake scandal to smear President Trump with lies." The letter, part of a birthday book compiled by Epstein's former girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell for his 50th birthday in 2003, was among documents subpoenaed from Epstein's estate by the House Oversight Committee. Committee Democrats releasing it Monday afternoon.
The president now is walking into his own lie and cover-up.
When the letter's existence was first reported by the Wall Street Journal in July, President Trump repeatedly denied having anything to do with it.
Somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot.
He sued the Journal, its publisher and owner, for defamation, claiming $10 billion in damages. The newspaper Monday referring back to an earlier statement, quote, "We have full confidence in the rigor and accuracy of our reporting." The book also includes a handwritten note from former President Bill Clinton, his office not returning our requests for comment, although a spokesman has previously said Clinton, quote, knows nothing about Epstein's terrible crimes. Mr. Trump, who said during last year's campaign that he would release all of the government's files on Epstein, has lately turned to attacking efforts to force the release of those files.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
Angering many of his own supporters, as well as Epstein's survivors.
Listen to us. This is not a hoax. It's not going to go away.
Well, happening now with the WRAL Live Center. We want to take you to these live pictures coming in out of Pittsburgh this noon hour. Crews are battling this massive fire in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill neighborhood. This is an all hands on deck kind of effort to get this fire under control. These are what's called the Jefferson Apartments. Our NBC affiliate there in Pittsburgh reporting the fire started around 8:30 this morning. So firefighters have been on the scene battling this blaze for more than 4 hours now. You can see them still pouring water on this apartment complex, just trying to get those hot spots under control. We're working to figure out how this fire started and how many residents have been displaced. We'll keep an eye on it here in the WRAL Live Center.
Actually, a friend back there was just texting me about it, showing me a video of them on that scene right there, but certainly hope that gets taken care of here pretty soon. Thanks, Ken. The start of a new school year means thinking ahead to college for many high schoolers. If you're applying for scholarships, some of those deadlines are quickly approaching. Jen Sullivan explains what to know when you're applying.
The cost of college continues to skyrocket, with some private universities costing students close to $100,000 a year when you combine tuition and other costs. As those costs rise, more students are turning to financial aid. Last fiscal year, the U.S. Department of Education administered about $120 billion worth of federal student aid, including loans and work-study funds. Nearly 10 million students receiving it. There are several different types of financial scholarships and grants you can apply for, and experts warn to stick with legitimate government websites. The site for the free application for federal student aid form, known as FAFSA, ends in a .gov.
Legitimate scholarships will never ask you for an upfront payment.
Melanie Roller is the head of retail bank fraud at Capital One. She says scammers are getting smarter and more advanced. They'll use urgent language like, take action now.
Scammers know that this is a real dynamic, and that's why they are so persistent in trying to take advantage of students and their parents at this very vulnerable moment.
The Department of Education says you'll never be asked for a credit card number when filling out the FAFSA form online. If you are, that's a red flag.
It's very important to never share sensitive information that is in response to an unsolicited call, email, or text message.
That was Jen Sullivan reporting. Now, if you do think you have been targeted in a scam, you can go to the Better Business Bureau website. They have a tracking tool to report it and look up other complaints.
According to a recent survey, 60% of public schools use some form of artificial intelligence. Although we're seeing a big uptick in AI in the classroom due to significant learning gaps, some children are getting after-school help with AI tutors. Brainly is the world's most used AI learning platform. Experts point out this new technology is a tool, not a magic wand. 22% of users say AI learning companions save them time. 18% say they help school feel less overwhelming and help them stay on track.
We are constantly improving our AI learning companion to be a better tutor. So this thing is getting smarter, it's getting more personalized, it's understanding users' intentions.
Some schools have been slow to adopt the technology, but new federal grants aimed at making sure students don't fall behind could speed up that process.
Showing our appreciation, this morning the Raleigh Chamber honored hundreds of first responders and their families at the 18th Annual Appreciation Breakfast. WRAL is a proud community partner. Here's Laura Levine.
The Falls Village Chick-fil-A location here is among 3 participating in giving free breakfast to our local heroes today. This is in partnership with the Greater Raleigh Chamber's annual First Responders Breakfast. Big crowds filled the room at the Northridge Country Club. Governor Josh Stein among the first to address the group of first responders, specifically touching on heroic actions during the wrath of Hurricane Helene.
The work you do is a special calling. We ask you to run toward danger when the rest of us might flee, Yet time and time again on a daily basis, you say yes. Yes to protect and to serve.
This special event included a sit-down breakfast uniting public officials and business leaders. It not only recognized the 450 first responders in attendance, but those who were already out serving today, rolling through drive-thrus, preparing their day with free Chick-fil-A.
It makes the day start on a good note.
Awards were given to agencies for their heroic actions, and guest speakers shared their experiences. Organizers say this day of appreciation is just a small form of gratitude.
It feels good knowing that we have the support of the local community and those that we go to work every day to protect and serve, that they're backing us.
This was the 18th year of this event, and WRAL's Dan Haggerty was the MC. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
If you're a first responder, we hope you're having a wonderful day. A new Girl Scout cookie variety. Chocolate lovers, this one's for you. What else is in it that makes it super tantalizing?
First date finances. Who should pay? And figuring out how a potential partner views money with a creative question. Hey, just a reminder, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
The Highway Patrol is investigating a crash involving a school bus carrying members of an Oklahoma high school softball team. Investigators say 8 people were hurt, including 6 who were thrown from the bus. It's unclear if the bus had seatbelts or if the passengers were wearing them. The team was on its way back from a game in southwest Oklahoma when the crash happened. It's still unclear what led to the crash. Mingo Public Schools are closed today.
A Broadway revival of Cabaret is shutting down soon after its leading man, Billy Porter, contracted a serious case of sepsis. Sepsis, if you didn't know, is a serious condition where the body responds improperly to an infection. The infection-fighting process turns on the body, causing the organs to work poorly. Porter's doctors are confident that he will make a full recovery, but they did advise him he should rest. Cabaret will end on September 21st.
Girl Scouts is adding a new cookie to its lineup. This morning, the organization announced the addition of a Rocky Road-inspired cookie called Explore Moors. Yes, Chris, this new chocolate cookie. It has a creamy filling and has notes of chocolate, marshmallow, and toasted almond flavor creme. Girl Scout cookie season runs January through April.
Legal to put that much flavor into one cookie? Oh, man.
An explosion of flavors, it sounds like right there.
All right, they may get a box from me. All right. Active pets. Vets say that you can extend your pet's life by ensuring they stay fit. Some fun activities pet owners can do to keep them safe.
Bye-bye Banksy. The street artist's latest work is being removed less than 24 hours after it was revealed. Why authorities say they're obligated to take it down. The latest mural by renowned street artist Banksy is being removed. The artwork shows a judge beating an unarmed protester with a gavel. It appeared Monday at the Royal Courts of Justice in London. Security officials covered it with black plastic and 2 metal barriers. Authorities in London say they are obliged to maintain the building's original character.
Pet owners would do anything to extend the health and life of their furry friends. Veterinarians say that a key part is ensuring they stay in shape. Gary Baumgarten spoke with experts who cite the potential risks that come with canines that are overweight.
While it can be dangerous to exercise dogs outside in hot summer temperatures, the arrival of cooler fall weather is offering better conditions for pets and their owners to head outdoors. And veterinarians say it's critical every dog gets enough movement.
I know that there is a bit of a trend of having dogs who are chunky, sometimes called the chunk, but we need to understand that it isn't healthy.
According to Dr. Katie Creevy of Texas A&M University, keeping dogs lean and active is one of the best ways to help them live long and healthy lives.
If your dog can stay active, that will improve their overall health and help them avoid obesity as they age.
And while it doesn't mean you and your dog need to start an Olympic training regimen, consistency matters.
Most of us can take our dogs for a walk. Maybe we can take our dogs for a jog.
Even playing with dogs can help them stay in shape.
A lot of dogs will do well with games involving toys or fetching. Some dogs are not motivated by toys, but you might try different types of toys.
Meanwhile, for expert guidance, Dr. Creevy says veterinarians can help properly assess your dog's weight.
By something that we call body condition scoring. And this is a measurement of how much excess fat your dog might have. You shouldn't be able to see your dog's ribs, but you should be able to feel them easily. But if you run your hands along your dog's sides, you should be able to easily feel his ribs, but you don't want to be able to see them from a distance.
The town of Morrisville is inviting you and your pups to the grand opening of a new dog park there. That site is on Franklin Upchurch Senior Street. It's the town's first designated dog park. It has two areas, one for big dogs, one for little dogs like Cha-Cha. I think we'll take her over there this weekend. The first fetch event is at 4 p.m. today.
Our pet of the day has a sparkle in her eye and a heart full of adventure. Meet Ruby. This 5-year-old Shepherd Hound mix is from the Wake County Animal Center. She loves her walks and may pull a bit at first, but quickly settles into a sniff-filled stroll. Ruby is potty trained, crate trained, knows commands in both English and Spanish. If you're interested in learning more about Ruby, please reach out to our volunteer matchmakers at wcacmatchmaker@gmail.com. Ruby's bilingual.
Well, maybe someone adopts Ruby or another dog and decide to take them for a walk today. Today's the day to do that.
Yeah, beautiful weather for it, very comfortable temperatures. Elizabeth Gardner on the WRAL weather patio with what we're looking at and also for the rest of the week.
It's hard to resist being outside. I mean, I definitely drew the best straw today being out here. It's just beautiful. We take a live look at Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill. Lots of sunshine everywhere. We do have that front that's sitting just offshore. A little bit of cloud cover there in Fayetteville, but it's not really having much of an impact on the weather. We talked about it being a little bit breezy. This is another look at some of our wind gusts, the guster in the white box on the right. So gusting to 18 in the Triangle, 23 in Fayetteville, 17 in Southern Pines. Steady wind, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's coming out of the northeast, so it continues to bring us this nice cool air mass well below normal temperatures. Here's a look at that front that's sitting offshore with a low pressure system kind of riding up the coast. We have that wind coming out of the northeast here at the surface, but that low this morning pushed some cloud cover our way, and we could see that on and off for the next several days as we see waves riding up that front, maybe one day at a time. We take a look at our watering forecast. Right now it looks like it'll be fairly dry. We'll watch tomorrow and Thursday. Again, we'll have the potential for a few clouds here and there. If we saw any rain, it would be just a quick sprinkle, but honestly, the high pressure system that's just up to our north and east should hold most of that offshore. You can see as we get through the day tomorrow, a low moves up the coast, and you can see just a little bit of green that shows up there, mainly in northeastern North Carolina. That's probably the only spot that we would see a little patchy rain, but it could mean that we would have some additional cloud cover. We had, of course, some very wet conditions for part of the summer, and that's really set us up nicely to not have to worry about our drought monitor too much. You can see there in yellow, that's where we have abnormally dry conditions. A lot of that closer to the coast and in some of our eastern counties, and then down south around Fayetteville and Clinton too. Okay, so we're starting to think fall, right? I mean, this beautiful weather, you've got to be thinking about the leaves and heading to the mountains. And of course, we have our documentary about Helene and talking about how much those folks in the mountains need us to come and visit for their economic viability there. No leaves changing just yet. It's too early for that, except way out in, say, Colorado. But here's a look at when we tend to see some of the peak leaves. So between Bryson City and Asheville, that's going to be the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And then south of Spruce Pine, that's going to be Mount Mitchell, and then south of Boone, Grandfather Mountain. That's where everything starts. That's going to be, say, late this month, so another 2-3 weeks. And then Boone is about middle of October, and Asheville is mid to late October. The cool temperatures that we've been seeing are very good for seeing the colors starting a little bit earlier than normal. Cool sunny days bring us a good leaf season. And again, just remember the earliest color happens just in those highest elevations above 4,000 or 5,000 feet. If you're here for the weekend, it looks great. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. And again, we have very little, if any, rain in the forecast through early next week.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Money can't buy you love, but it can cause problems in a relationship. How financial transparency while dating could lead to a lasting relationship.
And here's a look at your winning Powerball numbers. We have 26, 28, 41, 53, 64. The Powerball is 9. The multiplier is 3. As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines we're following today. New within the last hour, the Randolph County Sheriff's Office says the body of a missing 7-year-old was found this morning. They say the nonverbal boy was found in a pond near where he disappeared in Asheboro on Sunday. Several agencies and many volunteers searched the area for the last 2 days. The Sheriff's Office is giving an update at 2 this afternoon.
A person is in custody after a 7-hour standoff in Franklin County. Authorities deployed stun grenades and pepper balls at a home on Twin Creek Drive. And we're working to confirm the suspect's name, but a relative tells us the suspect was drinking and began firing rounds. Franklin County Sheriff says the suspect fired shots at deputies, and the standoff ended around midnight with no injuries reported.
The Tarboro Town Council blocked the construction of a data center overnight. Council members voted 7-1 to reject a special use permit for a 300-megawatt facility. Developers wanted to build it on a 50-acre piece of land near Anaconda Road. Last night's town council meeting was tense, lasting more than 5 hours and ending after midnight.
Dating apps can make finding a potential connection easier. However, finding a lifelong mate includes more in-depth conversation. Talk about money. Younger Americans are changing expectations on a first date. In fact, a new survey found nearly a quarter opt to split the check, and 28% say whoever plans the date should pay. Although bringing up money on a date can be difficult, there are lighter questions that can reveal a lot about your potential partner.
One way to do it, you're on a first date, just bring up like, hey, if you were given $1 million today, you got to spend every single dollar in 24 hours. Where are you going to spend it and why? And just through their answer, you're going to learn so much about their creativity, their curiosities, how they prioritize spending.
Okay, that's a good question. Another good question, if you had $1 million, what would you do? And what charity would you support? Because that kind of gives you a little bit about where their heart is, right? But keep in mind that some people view flaunting wealth, overspending, or being too frugal as instant turnoffs to singles.
A family in Texas hosted the gender reveal of the century.
What color did you see?
Now, you might have had trouble hearing, but Mackay said nothing. Montgomery County Fire Lieutenant Michael Sherman and his wife are having a baby girl. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but to the Sherman family, it is long overdue because this will be the first girl born to the Sherman family in 108 years.
What?
Yeah, the last girl born in the Sherman line was Mrs. Ora Bell Sherman. She was born in 1917, and she's Michael's great aunt.
Wow.
So yeah,
wild.
he saw pink. Or she's a pink.
Yeah. All right. Well, congrats to them then, right?
Oh, exciting.
All right. So who can get vaccinated? As we head into fall virus season, WRAL viewers are asking about the COVID-19 vaccine. Who can get it and where is it available? We'll break that down this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
We'll see you soon. Hope you have a blessed day.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.